What is up guys, it is Lally and today we have our first bit of PES 2017 info. Last year they were going with the heading that the pitch is ours. This year, just from the heading alone, it looks like they've listened to some of our feedback, because this year the heading is control reality. So I think a lot of the feedback last year was that it's way too easy to score goals, the game feels arcadey, and that we need that more realistic feeling, that more challenging and rewarding feeling. So straight from the heading, it looks like that they've taken our feedback on board. So let's dive into the first two features before I tell you what I think about them, because I think they link really well, and what I will say about them won't make sense until you hear both of them. So let's go into the first one, which is real touch. See how different players control the ball in unique and different ways based on where and how you control them, dictating the flow of the game based on how they react to the unpredictable movement of the ball. And precise pass, or what I would call in PES 2016, because that's how much of a joke it is in PES 2016, but in PES 2017 they're saying combining real touch and real ball physics, which I'm guessing they've improved the ball physics a lot. They're saying passing is an art form in PES 2017. Many factors determine the speed and accuracy of the ball. The pass that is made on the best situation and timing will generate a perfect trajectory, creating a great satisfaction when a killer pass is made. So for me here, lads, the best part of information I can get from here is the fact that in PES 2016 we had the problem of people getting the ball in defence and closing games out because the defenders had perfect touches all the time and their passing was way too perfect. Winning the ball back from defenders was way too hard, and now they're saying that first touches won't be perfect all the time, and they're saying that passing is obviously, with the help of new ball physics, isn't going to be as easy to pull off. Especially, I'm not sure whether anyone putting pressure on a player is going to make an impact, but they're saying that a pass isn't going to be perfect if someone's rushing it and they haven't chose to time it perfectly. And obviously, because their passing is going to be less quality in there, then the first touches are also going to take a hit on that as well. So if you're pressing on someone's defense and they're just going to decide to only pass in defense and you're pressing on it, then you should be able to win the ball back that bit easier, as opposed to as it was in PES 2016, where winning the ball off any player, no matter what their ball control stat was or anything, or even their passing stats, was almost mission impossible. They're saying now that if someone's going to basically play with players that aren't good with good ball control or good passing stats, it should be easier to win the ball off them because of how much harder the passing will be, and the fact that there should be baggy touches or some things like that with players that don't have the best ball control and obviously receiving a bad pass. So moving on to goalkeeping, and this wasn't actually one of my biggest gripes in PES 2016 when it comes to offline. When it comes to online, that's a different story. I'll dive into that in a moment. But what they're saying is goalkeepers have seen a great jump in quality through added motions and animations, creating the most agile goalkeepers in PES history. Attacking moments and will be more dramatic than ever, bringing the best feeling of achievement when that goal is scored. Like I said before, goalkeeping wasn't a real issue for me. It's just the fact that they got beaten way too easily by the finesse shot from 25, 35 yards, just way too easily. I'm not saying finesse shots shouldn't go in, but they should be well thought ones, not ones that are well timed, but well thought of ones. So as long as you actually choose a finesse shot at the most appropriate time, not shooting from 30 yards just because you know it's going to fly in the back of the net. Just because a finesse shot is well timed doesn't mean that it should go in. How many times have we seen in real life that a scuffed shot goes in? Someone tries to place a shot in, they don't catch it perfectly, doesn't mean it's the most well timed shot, but it's probably the best shot that they went for in that situation. So if a finesse shot went in PES 2017 that wasn't well timed, but it was probably the best shot to go for there, a goalkeeper comes bearing down on you and you've scuffed a shot past him because the goalkeeper's so close and he can't react to a well thought out finesse shot, but it's scuffed and it's just gone past him, it trickles in. I'll accept that, but I wouldn't accept a 35 yard, 25 yard, 40 yard finesse shot. I'm not even joking, lads. I've seen 40 yard finesse shots going in on PES 2016. So hopefully finesse shots aren't stupidly OP and we can move on from there. So let's go into the next feature which Konami talk about, which is called Total Team Control. Users can instantly change the attacking and defending mentality of the team, which can be tweaked and carefully controlled with simple controls, being able to immediately react to the unpredictability of the sport. That is huge, lads. That is absolutely huge. That used to be there back in the days where you could hold L2 and then you press, I think it was up or down on the D-pad, and you'd see a bar at the bottom, or not, yeah, you'd see these 4 or 5 little dots at the bottom left or bottom right of the screen I think it was when it is blue, which was at the bottom of the bar, then it'd be like a really low team press. They'd stay back. If you held L2, moved it up, and you took it up 4 or 5 levels, then the team presses up higher up the pitch. So it basically changes the attacking mentality. And what FIFA fans thought that they've, I know they've had it for a few years, but Konami had that for a very long time. And I don't know why they took it out of PES 2016. I think they might even took it out of PES 2015, but they brought that back. That is huge. Like I said before, lads, in PES 2016, people waste time on the ball in defense. All you do without the ball even going out of play, because when you're playing online in PES 2016, you can't actually make any changes till the ball is out of play. Now you can just, in the press of a button, change into high pressure mode, and in a simple switch straight back into low pressure mode as well, or even medium pressure mode, whichever mode you fancy. You can do it within the press of a button, and that's it. That is huge. Again, that kills someone's ability to just close the game out in the defense easily, because people do it in PES 2016 for like the minute 60 onwards. They just pass it about and the ball doesn't go out at all for the rest of the game. With this, you have the chance to at least put them under more pressure and knock it out of play, or even just put more pressure on their defense. So moving on to the next feature, which they call advanced instructions. This is an area which Konami have always been kings at. Whatever you tell them on the instructions, like high defensive line, all that sort of stuff, frontline pressure, compactness, whatever you put there reflects perfectly on the pitch. And this is why I'm annoyed at my club, because in my club you're so restricted with the managers that you got out there. All the managers out there, none of them strike the perfect balance to how I want to play the game, to match my playing style. The fact that Konami are so perfect over their whole history of PES, they have been spot on with this, and that is why I get so annoyed with PES 2016 in my club. Hopefully, with what they're saying now, they're saying strategies that are quite individually defined, such as tiki-taka and tight marking, which is strongly based on team ideology, can be set in advanced instructions, which adds a huge variety in how you plan to win. So I'm guessing, like how we have strategy 1, 2 and 3, they could probably have pretty much same ones like that, but just set with names and things like that. I'm guessing they have presets for tiki-taka, basically, things like that, and team presets for park the bus defending, things like that. I'm guessing they will be there in the bottom left now. But as I was saying before, the reason this frustrates me the most is because the best thing they have is basically taken away from my club. If they put that into my club, I'm sure the game mode would be a much better game mode to play. So moving on to the next feature, which is corner kick strategies. Control the defensive strategies on a set piece, such as marking zonal or man-to-man marking. Offensive options also included, such as specific player movement. So this was much needed for PES 2017. In PES 2016, all you can do is put the ball into a dangerous area and hope. Now they're saying that as a defensive maneuver, if you know someone is piling players on the near post, you can just do man-to-man marking. Or if you think that you're better at just putting players in specific positions, you can just do that. And if you think you got all bases covered and you think that's the best way to approach that opposition, then you go by that. The best thing about attacking now, though, is you can actually, from the sounds of it, you can now do set piece routines. So you can either pile on at the front post, you can pile on the back post, you can probably send some players forward, some players back as soon as the ball is hit. So you can be unpredictable and just do things from there rather than just hit and hope. So that is, for me, was much needed. Hopefully that happens on not just corner kicks, but also on set pieces that are at tight angles, wide on and whatnot. So moving on to the next feature, which they call adaptive AI. Hopefully this feature works perfectly, because if it does, we'll see less people that are rated high that are doing the same boring tactics that work, the long ball spamming and just cheap styles of gameplay. If the AI is wise to it and picks up on it like pretty much early enough, then that cheap tactic will get snuffed out easily, and then they'll have to mix up their game, which makes the matches more exciting. So hopefully adaptive AI works. This is the one I'm begging, and my fingers are crossed, lads. Not really good finger crossing, but yeah, they are crossed, begging that this one works perfectly, just so it keeps the gameplay fresh. So moving on to the last two features, which are authentic visuals and natural player movement. Starting off with authentic visuals, they're saying basically everything has been revamped. That goes from player models, lighting, crowds, pitch, stadiums, everything has just been worked from, I'm not saying, they're saying totally revamped. I don't know if that means from the ground up, and basically they're saying expect a more beautiful looking PES. PES hasn't really had a problem looking good when you're zoomed in. It's about them holding that beauty when it's zoomed out and you're actually playing the game. Because when you actually zoom in on PES 2016, it is a beautiful game, but when you zoom out, it loses way too much detail. So hopefully with all this revamp, that it actually holds some of that beauty as you zoom out. So moving on to natural player movement, and they're saying that hundreds of animations have been added in, and that the new features of real touch and precise pass see a huge benefit because of this, and that also when you're now controlling a ball and passing the ball, we'll be seeing a ton more animations there as well. So guys, that's everything that they've announced today, and for me they've actually said all the right things. When I say that they've said all the right things, I don't mean PR wise, I mean as in terms of they've actually listened to what we've said, that you know, goal scoring is way too easy, passing is way too easy, you know, that it just doesn't feel too much of a challenge. Right now that they're saying, look, you want a challenge, we're obviously saying it's one thing, doing it's another, so we'll have to wait till we get our hands on it. And let me know what you guys think of it. I'm sure I'll hit you up in the comment section. I'll be back with some more PES 2017 news when they release it. Until then guys, peace.